Alrighty. So finishing up with our P2, so we can, oh wait a minute. Why do I keep freezing the screen? There we go. Sorry about that. So I guess we can call it P2b, if that works for you. So we're still working on those exponents and how to manipulate all those exponents and simplify those expressions. Right? So today we're just going to do a whole bunch of simplifying, because we can't solve these because they're not going to be equal to anything. Okay? So I think I have 4 of them for you, unless you want more. Let's say we had -3 x to the 4th y to the 5th, and all of that to the 3rd. That screen's finally bigger today, isn't it? Did I get the right setting maybe? Does it look bigger to you guys? Yeah. There. So on this one, anybody know which little rule we need to use? Starts with the P, 5 letters, P-O-W-E-R, the power rule. So this little 3, that exponent of 3, guess what we got to do with that 3? We got to share it with everybody in the inside. Okay. So I'm just going to throw that -3 in parentheses. Granted, you could do the negative, like -1 to the 3rd and then 3 to the 3rd, but I just like to keep the negative with the number. So that would be like -3 to the 3rd. And then I had x to the 4th, but I have to take that to the 3rd power. So do you think I'm going to add them or multiply them? If it's the power property. That's when we multiply them. And then you'd have y to the 5th, but we now have to take that to the 3rd. So what's -3 to the 3rd power? -3 times -3 is -9. 9 times -3 is -27. Then I'm going to get what? X to the 12th. Yep. Y to the 15th. Right? And we can't simplify it any farther, so that's as far as we can go. Want to try another one? Let's say we have in parentheses -7 x y to the 4th, all in one set of parentheses, times -2 x to the 5th y to the 6th. So technically these are 2 sets of factors. And what are we doing to them? Like, what's that little operator right in between those parentheses? Are we adding them, subtracting them, multiplying them, dividing them? Multiplying them, right? So we're going to be using that product property. So I just kind of go piece by piece, right? So I look for those like terms. So I have my constant terms, -7 and -2. right? Then I got x's and x's, y's to y's. So first thing I got to do is -7 times -2, which is going to give me +14. And if I need to, I can put a little 1 there on the x if it helps us, right? Because under the product property, what are we going to do with our exponents? Add them. Yep. So we're going to have x to the 6th, and then y to the 10th. That's as far as we can go on that one. Want to try some division ones? Oops. I don't know my numbers very well. What if we had -35 x squared y to the 4th divided by 5 x to the 6th y to the -8? Stay. So again, I just kind of go piece by piece. We know that we're dividing, and we know how to divide constant terms. When it comes to my variables and my exponents on my variables, we started talking about this yesterday, right? Because this is division, it's going to be that quotient property. So ultimately, what do we need to do with our exponents? Subtract them? Yep. So I'm going to start with my numbers, right? -35 divided by 5, that's going to give us -7, right? And then on my x's, I'm just going to write it out the long way. Like you guys can do the subtraction probably in your head, but just for poops and giggles, I'm just going to write it out the first time, right? So it's always going to be top minus bottom. So I'm going to have x to the 2 minus 6, right? And then on my y's, I'm going to have 4 minus a -8. Does that make sense so far? So then I'm going to end up with what? -7 x to the, what's 2 minus 6? -4. And then y to the 4 minus the -8 is going to give me 12, right? So we're almost done with this problem. So the only thing we have to still look at is we don't want to have that negative exponent right there. So we just got to get rid of the -4. And how are we going to get rid of the -4? Where is he going to go? He's going to go down to the bottom, right? Yep. So this is actually going to give us -7. Oh, I'm going to move it. -7 y to the 12th. And then that x to the 4th has got to go down to the bottom. Am I losing anybody? You guys good? One last one. Super duper fancy. You guys are a tough crowd this morning. Let's go with 4x squared divided by y. And I'm going to throw all of that in parentheses. And I'm going to raise the whole entire thing to the -3rd degree. So in these, there's a couple different ways, like how you want to start it. I usually just take my exponent, my variable, or my exponent, my degree, and I take it in, and then I sit there and simplify the negative. Some people like to flip everything to begin with, but sometimes I think that gets a little confusing. So I'm just going to take my -3 in, and since it's the power property, I know I got to like do some multiplication, right? So, oops, oh, I did not do that. There we go. So if I just take my little -3 in, I just got to make sure I share it with everybody because sharing is caring, and that's what we do in Fitch's class, right? So I'm going to have what? 4 to the -3. Then I'm going to have x squared, but then now I have to multiply that by the -3. And I can't leave my y out even though she's down below, right? So that's still going to be y to the -3, right? Yeah, share with everybody. So what am I up to? 4 to the -3, x to the 6th now, over y to the -3.
Hey, Fitch.
Yeah.
Why did you make the 2 negative?
I have no idea why I made the 2 negative. That's not negative, is it? So we still have a -6 then, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. You should see these kids in this classroom, man, in the auditorium. They just sit there and stare at me. It's like I'm teaching to mannequins. They don't say anything. Did you guys catch that too? No. Sorry about that. I'm just making up positives and negatives as I go, huh? All right, we good so far? Yeah. So, whoops. So that 4 to the -3rd or -3, where do you think he's got to go? Because he's got a negative exponent. We can't have a negative exponent, so he's going to go down. So now I got 4 to the 3rd down here, right? X to the -6. Can't have that negative exponent, so where's he going to go? He's going to go down. And then I have y to the -3. So where's the y now got to go to make it a positive? It's got to go up, right? So then that would be y to the 3rd. And then we can just simplify that a little bit more. So we got y to the 3rd. Anybody know what 4 to the 3rd power is? 64? X to the 6th. So all of our exponents are positive, and then any like number raised to a power that we could simplify, we are now simplified, right? All right. You guys got any questions? Yes. Say it one more time. Divide which ones? This one and this one? That's a y and that's an x. No, you're good. You're good. Yes. But if they were the same variable, then yeah, you could keep going. Then you would do 3 minus 6. But yep. Nope, you're good. Any other ones? All right.